snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. That's Jokes. That's Sin. We're on the couch. This is Cutscenes.
Hey.
Where we decided we just gonna talk about video games for a little while. And I feel ready.
Feel ready?
I feel ready. Do you feel ready?
I feel ready.
Do you feel ready?
I'm good. Let's go.
I don't know what I'm feeling ready for, but I'm feeling ready though.
Well, let's feel ready about your hat, sir. Let's talk about Pokemon. Did you watch the direct?
I did.
Okay, good, because it was only 7 minutes.
It was really. It was
I thought I missed something. Like, do I gotta rewind? Like,
I thought it was gonna be like
quick.
a 20-minute.
Now, when they announced it was going to be a 7-minute Pokemon direct. And it was like,
Oh, quick to the point.
Here we go.
This is what we're
This is
looking
going to
for.
be serious. Yeah, because why else would you say that? Like,
Yeah.
you can't play around.
Direct and to the point.
They didn't play around.
Nope.
They were direct in the direct. So we have our new Generation 8 Pokemon game coming to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield.
Yes, sir.
Before we go any further, Jokes,
Yes.
as the resident Pokemon aficionado,
Mm-hmm.
lover, all of that, what will the third version of this game be called?
If they do it.
So there was Sun and Moon,
Yep.
right? Was there a third part to Sun and Moon?
No, they just did Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So,
Now,
yeah.
the rumor was they were going to do Pokemon Stars. The Sun, the Moon,
That
and the
was
Stars.
Stars. Mm-hmm.
Right? Why didn't they do that? That was so, like, it was written.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I guess because they decided to just go ahead and go right to Gen 8. I'm guessing that would have been a Gen 7, add more. I don't know.
Isn't that what Ultra...
It's kind of, it essentially is the same game, and they threw in a couple extra little tidbits or whatnot ever. So, I guess they didn't want to let people think that it was going to be, I guess, directly correlated with those games. They was like, let's just go ahead, do fresh. Let's just give it a whole new title, and that way it's
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So do they do Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield,
potentially,
or do they do a third one and give it a name?
I think it depends on how many Pokemon they decide to add. So,
On that note,
mm-hmm.
we know that there are new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the new starters.
Son.
Okay, I'll give you the names in a second. But we saw the new starters.
Mm-hmm.
But we also saw, like, Pikachu in there.
Yep.
So we know there's old Pokemon in
Still in there.
there. Even though it's a whole new place.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? Should it have been... Do you feel like it should have been... Like, let's just get all new Pokemon?
I don't necessarily think so. I think they want to be able to address both sides of the fence when it comes time for fans. So, of course, returning fans, you know what? Hey, some of your Pokemon that you know and you love, they're going to be in here. But at the same
Nobody
time...
who's brand new to Pokemon is buying this game. No. No.
I might.
Nah. Nah.
It's on the
You know,
Switch, so that's
Yeah,
why.
did
That's
you
why.
play-
Did you play Pokemon Go at all?
Mhm.
So you're not new.
Okay.
You're not new. Like, you are like, and that's what my point is. Like, what Nintendo has been doing, what Game Freak and Pokemon Company have been doing, especially with the craze that was Pokemon Go, was they introduced tons of people who maybe heard the name,
But never...
probably heard the theme song, but never played a game, weren't going to play a game, weren't going to buy a Game Boy to play the game, weren't going to buy a DS to play a game, weren't going to, you know what I mean? Weren't Pokemon snapping, weren't doing none of that. But they played Pokemon Go. And when they released Go Eevee and Go Pikachu, they specifically used those characters like, okay, these are the two big, super popular characters. Let's keep people who are into Go. They made it look like Go, right? They put it on the Switch. Let's bring those people in. So those people are in now. Nobody who has never played a Pokemon game at all is buying this game unless it's by accident. Oh, Pokemon, that's popular. Let me buy that for little whoever, and it's given as a gift. Nobody's doing that. Pokemon games are not for new people. They're not.
Not Not unless you're gonna get it to play with your friends, so you can build up your Pokemon and battle them. Like if your friend talks you into it, like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, and
I'll hop in.
Yeah.
It's possible. I honestly think someone could have been like, you know what, I never wanted to play it, but you know what, been like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the trigger.
I would be willing to bet you that anybody who's even considering doing it would play Pokemon Go first. Would help familiarize them because they don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They would familiarize themselves with characters. They would do something, but they wouldn't just jump into this. I'm not saying you can't.
No, most definitely. But I get it.
That's not what this is designed for, though, at all. Like, I don't think. I think having Pikachu there is not for old Pokemon fans. It's for new Pokemon fans. You're a fan of Pokemon now because you play Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with, Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu is getting ready to drop out.
Like, how can you put out a new Pokemon game and not have Pikachu in it?
Oh, you can't.
On the strength of getting ready to drop a movie where you have Ryan Reynolds playing your most iconic character.
Nah.
You can't do it.
And he's in Smash Bros.
Like,
Pikachu gets around.
That's the other thing that people might know. Like, even if you're jumping into this and you've never played a Pokemon game, including Pokemon Go, I bet you play Smash Brothers.
You know those Pokemon. You know all those Pokemon.
You just hoping they in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, to me, having them in there is kind of like, we have to have that bait.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta have that, even if, like, there's only 2 or 3 that you'd ever seen before anywhere else.
Right.
And everybody else was new. But what's the logic behind whether or not having a certain number of new Pokemon is a reason why you would do like a new game with a new name? Like,
because like the whole point, and if it's just like it's 2 different games, there's some Pokemon that are the same on both games, but then there's some that you can only catch on one version of the game.
Right.
Which they could do that with the 3rd game. Maybe it becomes one of those where one of those legendary Pokemon ends up only being in that 3rd game.
Right.
Because to me it was always, I wish it was always 3, because like say for example your starters. Now, with the exception of certain games, you could always, if you picked one starter on one, you picked on another one, there was at some point in the game you were able to obtain the 3rd or one of them that you couldn't get.
Right.
In Japan, obviously, when the first ones came out, they had red and green. We got red and blue, but eventually they did release blue, which allowed you, in the sense, you could pick one of the starters on each of the games to have.
Alright, so this is what we got. We have Grookey, who is a grass Pokemon. Monkey.
Right.
Chimp. Which are not the same things. Score Bunny. Fire Pokemon.
Fire Bunny.
Well, I was like, when they first showed it, because they showed Score Bunny first. And I was like, maybe they're not doing like the same normal elements. Maybe they adding something new. Maybe this is a speed Pokemon. Got the speed for it. My man was getting it.
Oh, he was?
It's Speed Force Pokemon.
Dope.
And then Sobble. The little timid hiding in the water. Drip drop.
Drip.
Got that drip.
The camouflage, can't see.
Got that drip. Which one are you gonna start with?
Fire. That's how
always?
It is. That's how it is with me.
Always fire.
It's always been fire.
Why?
It's just, well, to start, Charizard is hands down my favorite Pokemon forever.
Sure.
But for whatever reason, I've always, whenever I've started with the fire Pokemon, I've never run into, per se, like, an initial issue when it came time for, like, gym battles until maybe, like, midway on. Because, like, say, for example, Brock in the first one, Rock type. Obviously, the only one that was really the super effective was Squirtle, if you took him in there. But,
hey, bro, listen to me.
I know. I, as much as I'm talking, I'm like, he's like, you don't gotta go a little bit extra. But
nah, I'm not saying, I understand the rock paper scissors aspect of the game.
Kind of
I get it.
It's just all, I think fire type is just my personal favorite.
Okay.
And that's just where I've stuck from now. Granted, you know, I've had.
You don't pick yours by which one's the cutest.
No.
Okay. Some people do.
They do. No, they most certainly do. But then by the time they pick the cutest one, but by the time it evolves, it may not be nowhere being cute no more.
Did you get the Let's Go game for the Switch?
I did. I only got one of them.
Which one though?
I got Pikachu.
Okay. I respect that.
You getting both of them? You getting Sword and Shield or just one?
I'm getting both of them.
Of course. What? Ain't got no choice. You're not allowed. Look at his hat.
I'm getting
Look
both
at his hat. Look at his hat.
I'm getting both of them.
Look at his hat.
I might jump out there with just one.
He didn't even know we was gonna talk about this today.
Oh, he knew.
He knew.
There
was no way. Like,
he knew this was
there was no way this was not going to be mentioned. At some point, at some stage, there was at least going to be a subtle mention of it somewhere in the conversation.
It's true. Are you excited?
I actually am excited.
So when do you think it's coming out? They say in late 2019. What do you think that means? September, November?
Holiday.
I'm thinking before holiday.
You think before holiday?
I think a little bit before. So I'm thinking.
So wait. Where then? Because Animal Crossing is supposed to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So where does Animal Crossing drop? They're not gonna drop both of them at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Did they
I don't even think they drop them in the same quarter.
Did they even give Animal Crossing like
2019?
They just say 2019.
I think it's just 2019. I don't think there's
that. I was gonna say that probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
That may be like that mid-year type one, and then Pokemon drop will be right before.
That summer drop, yeah.
Maybe like a 2-month difference between the two of them.
So August and October.
Sounds about right.
October, November. Yep, for Pokemon. Get them holiday sales, move them units.
Well, you know they gotta put them bundles together, bro.
Yeah.
You got to put that. Are you gonna buy a new Switch?
Depend. Two pieces. Depends on what it looks like. And maybe if we know there's been a talk of
Sword
like
and Shield Joy-Cons, you getting it?
I probably that one sword out. But then there's been the talk of a subtle refresh for the Switch. So if maybe that is a part of that one, if it's
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's happening until next year.
Next year for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think they're gonna put this joint out and make as much money off they can of this version while the cost for them has come down in producing the unit.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna package that thing with Pokemon and sell the Sheboygan out of the thing. And then after all the people buy one, next year they gonna be like,
new joint.
We got the new one coming your way.
I'm telling you, bro. I think next year. I think next year is when we see a new
refresh or whatever they want to
switch.
for.
Some form. I think we see a more powerful.
They moving them units first.
No doubt.
We gotta get all the extras out the warehouse. Ship them out.
Box them up.
Yeah.
Box them up. Give them a code. We ain't even opening these boxes and putting no games in.
Just give them a code.
Ring it up. Code prints on your receipt. You good to go.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen. This is my prediction. It's early for predictions.
Already.
Feel me, son. Feel me. So, Pokemon bundles, okay? Digital copy of the game. Mm-hmm. And they come with at least a 1 month free Nintendo Online. And they slap Tetris 99 on the box. Decisive. Because you can't play Tetris 99 unless you got the online. And you want to trade and do all that and do battles and all that jazz?
Oh, you're going to need that
online.
You're going to need that. So
they're going to slap you in the mouth with here's the system, here's the game, whichever version you get. You know what I'm saying? Sword or Shield, right? And then they're going to be like, so you can do your battles and whatever. You need the online. We're going to give you a month for free. Because what's hurting them? It's only $20, right? And they're going to slap Tetris on that joint. Like, think about, Tetris was the Game Boy mover, bruh.
Yeah, for a holiday bundle.
Because the only reason why Tetris 99 exists is so they can sell, is so they can get people to pay for the online. The game is free. Mm-hmm. There's no add-ons. There's nothing to purchase. There's nothing.
Tetris versus your friends.
I'm telling you that Tetris joint is designed to move units. I think that joint will be on every Switch box.
Just going for it at that point.
Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They gonna what? It's gonna be a package deal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going down. So listen, let's shift gears real quick. So apparently, there was a rumor. Well, okay. News kind of snuck out that Sony did a patent for what looked like some backwards compatibility. Mm-hmm. Okay, and basically it's been confirmed that's what they're doing. And so it looks like PlayStation 5 is at least going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 at least. That's what it's looking like.
Okay.
Where are we on this? Do we believe it first and foremost?
I most certainly could believe it. For PlayStation 4, I most certainly could believe it.
Okay. You being real.
Because it's Sony.
no PlayStation 3, no PlayStation 2, no PlayStation 1.
Because it's Sony. They do stuff like, yeah, we're gonna give it to you on this console. Then when they do like a new version of it, there's no more backwards compatibility on it. Like they do all that stupid stuff all the time when the systems come out. So I agree, it probably will have at least 4. Mm-hmm. At least.
That anger.
If you get something else past that,
they
you ain't gonna have it for long.
He's upset. Like you can see it. Like it's like the generally struck a nerve.
Oh, I understand. Cause I was mad because I had the fat PS3 when it came out, and mine was backwards compatible.
Oh, I had the last model they did that was full backwards compatible.
Right, that had the emotion engine.
I still got my joint. That is my baby.
Mine stopped working.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, so I had to upgrade and get another one, of course.
And nope, you lost your backwards compatibility.
Backwards compatibility.
So you suck for that.
You don't want to play none of them weak games anyway, man.
Did at that point.
Nah.
You know how many of them weak ass games I had still ready to play?
I believe you wasn't playing them. You don't play the games you got now.
He just got you on that.
Call me a liar.
Hey,
call me a liar.
I do play the games I got now. It's called Destiny 2.
You don't play no new games you got now.
When last time you played Anthem?
I'm level 5. Level 5.
You suck. just suck. Oh gosh.
Alright, so if this is a thing, how do you think they word it? How do you think they spin it? What do you think they're really gonna do? Like, do you think it's just gonna be, listen, here's the deal, PlayStation 5 works with all your PlayStation 4 games, bring your library over. Is it specifically a digital thing? Will it work with
the ones that you've downloaded digital and be able to play?
Will it work with your hard copies? Is it something that like, it's kind of like you said. It always seems like there's some kind of a caveat.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm hoping there's not. Because right now, Sony is very much, I'm going to take my ball and go home. We the big dogs. We do what we want. We don't have to let y'all cross-play. We don't have to let y'all whatever. Because the funny thing about it is Microsoft on the other side of the field is kind of like, play what you want where you want. We don't really care. You know what I mean? Which you have to imagine that in a world where Microsoft or Xbox, however you want to see it as far as the hierarchy is concerned, seems to be making a play to even have their games be available on Switch. Play your games where you want. Right? It's maybe trying to get to a place where, like, if you buy, I don't know, the next Assassin's Creed game, and you buy it in the Microsoft store, it will work on your PlayStation.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They just seem to be driving, and I'm not necessarily a proponent of the like one console future where like everything just plays on everything and it doesn't really matter. But probably the biggest difference in the video game medium versus the other mediums that it's most closely tied to, movies and music, are that for the most part, except for in some very specific situations when they're trying to do something new, whatever you buy works on everything. Like, if you go to the store and you buy Pirates of the Caribbean on DVD or Blu-ray, it works in anybody's DVD player, works in anybody's Blu-ray player, works on your computer. Like, if it reads Blu-ray discs, it plays. Video games is really the only place where that's not the case.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, like, even if it's the exact same game,
right,
the game itself is proprietary to the system in which you bought it. Or the ecosystem in which you bought it. Which is where digital is kind of having a thing, right? So like there are some games that are available on iPhone that aren't available on Android, and vice versa. But when they are available on both, it's the same game. Right. You know what I mean? Sure, there's not necessarily a cross. I don't know. Maybe you can play words. Maybe we can play Words with Friends, even if you have a iPhone and I have an Android. I don't know. I don't play phone games, but except that Ding Dong XL, that's cracked. That joint is cracked. It's bad crack. It's crack on your phone. But video games is like the last bastion of that kind of like. Yeah. All our stuff is our stuff, and if you want the stuff, then you have to have it here, right? Yeah. And when you start to think about what it might mean to a third party, like a Ubisoft, like an EA, who have traditionally in the past had to make a different version for the Super Nintendo than they made for the Genesis. Right. Had to make a different version for the Xbox 360 than they made for the PlayStation 3. Right? Even if you're able to port, what that means in terms of having to have a different team or how big that team is in order to do that or whatever, versus
at the end of the day.
Being able to make one thing. Like when we start talking about the idea of keeping that, like we're watching them close down studios like it's nobody's business, layoffs, all that kind of stuff constantly. Yeah. But if you told a company, just make the game, and when people buy it, they can play it wherever they want. It doesn't matter. You still get paid. They buy it in whatever store they buy it in, and we can make it so it works across the board. Right. What does that mean monetarily for a team? You know what I mean? Like so, as we kind of seem to be pushing toward that to some extent or not, right? I mean, again, it's all about the store, right? But that, you know, like the Epic Store or Steam or the Microsoft Store or the PlayStation Store, right? Wherever it is that you buy it from is really no different than whether you go and you buy it from Best Buy or you buy it from Target or you buy it, you know, from Walmart, right? So that isn't necessarily going away. But whether or not once you buy it, where it works, could be going away.
I have mixed issues about it. Like, I think, guess it's because I'm so used to the way it is. I mean, things are changing, but is it necessarily a bad thing?
Here's why I feel like. Here's what I feel the biggest hurdle as far as that's concerned is, right? We are all people who have a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox, right? And Switches. But if we all want to play together, like there was a time when we were playing Destiny on Xbox and you were playing on PlayStation. So you went out and bought it on Xbox again so you could play with us. You understand what I'm saying?
And had to start over. You know,
what if that didn't matter is what I'm saying, right? So
that would be great.
We're talking about Microsoft saying like your friends list, your achievements, your whatever, your saves are in the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, right? Like if they're really pushing that, Google's gonna make some kind of announcement. They put out something saying like, "Yup, we bought this. It's on streaming time." You know what I mean? When companies are really pushing that, the idea of being able to buy it once and play with whoever you want to play with, right? So if I have a friend who has a PlayStation 5, but I don't buy a PlayStation 5, but we have the same game, but we want to link up and play, shouldn't we be able to do that?
I would think so. Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what crossplay is really about. That's what cross saves are really about. That's kind of what the point really is, more than anything. It's like, let's not worry about whether or not this person has to go and buy it on that system to do it. Let's just make sure they buy the game. Let's make sure the publisher and the developer get the money for making it from the purchase, and let them play. You know what I mean? And then play wherever you feel comfortable. So if you like the PlayStation controller better than the Xbox controller, play on your PlayStation. I don't know why, but if you do, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so good with that. Now, I'm not so good with, like, keyboard and mouse versus controller. Right. But there are options to opt in and out of that kind of stuff. Right. Yeah. So if Sony is really doing this and they're doing backwards, like, it feels to me like Sony is going for what's probably going to be a more traditional box.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be just like PlayStation 4, but it'll let you bring your PlayStation 4 catalog. Right? Because that's one of the biggest things is like, it's one thing to tell me, going from generation to generation, when everything's on cartridge or everything is on disc, that the new one doesn't play your old stuff. Right? You can kind of understand that. But when I have a digital library, why is that digital library tied to that thing when I supported you as a company, you know what I'm saying? I'm a consumer of your products. Why doesn't that come with me? Which I feel like is one of the big things that Microsoft was going after and was like, okay, you bought all this stuff on 360, let's really work to get the backwards compatibility working, right? And so even though as they continue to add more games of backwards compatibility, sure, if you have the disc, you can use it. If you go buy the disc, you can use it. But if you had it digitally, it's just there. It just works. And they enhance it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not, you can't lose. Because your stuff's just there. You know what I'm saying? I'm really hoping that that's what Sony is doing. That they are making it so that, because everything I bought on PlayStation is digital anyway.
Yeah, I think I got 2, maybe 3 discs.
Special edition.
Yakuza, special edition joints and stuff like that,
Tales,
right?
special edition. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Everything is digital. So if I can't take my stuff over, ooh.
It means you got to keep the old box hooked up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It means you can't trade that box in to get the new box. Yep. That's the other thing that kills it, right? It's like, all right.
It almost want to make you go buy a extra box that stays fresh just in case something happens to it. That way you still have all your stuff, and that's just a hassle.
Which, you know, again, and who wants to go through hooking that up or leaving it somewhere, trying to keep it hooked up, as these things have really made their way into people's living rooms and stuff like that. They're not in some kid's room anymore, down in the basement so much anymore. No. They might be in a man cave, but I'm just saying, like, they're such a part of normal, regular, everyday life that they have taken the place of the DVD or the VCR in the living room.
Yep. Cable box, all that stuff.
Right. And so you need to be able to take that stuff with you. And that's what I'm really hoping that Sony is pushing. We've said it before. I said it, I know, that if Sony doesn't do backwards compatibility, they can kiss it goodbye this generation. They will piss off. They sold so many units. They will piss off a lot of people. You know what I mean? If it's just like, nah, you want, nah. But I know you better.
Play PlayStation 4 games, gonna buy PlayStation 4.
Yeah, like you
buy that new version of that game on the PS5.
Yeah, I mean, plus, again, think about how many new units of PlayStation 5 they could sell if they told you that works. And you can go and trade in your PlayStation 4 and put that money towards a PlayStation 5. Like, just how much easier does that make it for people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just everything's gonna work.
Switch it out. Switch your cables out. Start playing the way you left off.
Log in and just re-download your library.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tied to a number. Your number still exists. It's PlayStation Network. It's not like it's new.
Right. You have to sign in using the same
thing.
Yeah.
It should. Yeah. That to me is, and again with the architecture of the PS4 and whatever it is they're making going forward, I feel like it should be easier than it was to try to do that with PlayStation 3 going into PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? PlayStation 2 going into PlayStation 3, they changed the architecture of the PlayStation 3 so much from what the PlayStation 2 was that they had to basically put a PS2 inside of the system to make it run.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was costing them money, and they were losing, so they had to take it out. They had to take it out. They had to shrink the hard drive, and they had to take that motion engine out. Alright, so, question for you.
Okay.
May not be a quick question, but considering that we just kind of talked about Xbox and like how it seems like the Gamepass thing and Xbox Live and all that. Okay. Let me preface this.
Okay.
It's my assertion of what the rumors are.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is probably happening is that if in fact this whole Game Pass thing is real, Microsoft is actually bringing games over to Nintendo Switch, that is also tied to the rumors that we're hearing about there being a refresh for the Nintendo Switch. And I think whenever that's going to happen, whether it's like next year or whatever, those two things will be tied together. Mm-hmm. And that there will be a new version of the Switch that is more powerful. The actual, like, the new 3DS, and some games didn't work. The new new Switch.
Big bold letters, new.
Right. With the little with the Fiesta around it. They got like jazz hands. Jazz hands,
spear fingers. New.
That's the old Switch. This new Switch. That is gonna come with the hardware refresh. That is the rumor, that Nintendo's doing for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, imagining that Nintendo is actually putting together more powerful hardware, and that would mean that it could in fact run some of these Microsoft Studios games that are day one in Game Pass.
Okay.
What is the one?
Cool.
One, sir.
One. Okay.
One game.
Okay.
Nintendo has to announce coming to the new Switch that would make you buy a new Switch. Coming from Microsoft.
Halo.
Halo what though?
At that point, well, New Year's time, Infinite be on New Year's time?
No. We're not getting the Infinite in a year.
So
we might get it in 2.
Yeah.
Maybe end of 2020.
Yeah. Get through those Gears first.
But if they said it was coming,
get the Gears first, and then worry about Infinite.
Damn, Halo would be the one, but I wouldn't be mad if they said Gears.
So, Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. Okay. We'll say it's coming.
If Halo Infinite, if Nintendo comes out and does a direct, and they like, if Nintendo come out and be like, we doing an Xbox Direct.
We
doing a Game Pass Direct. Right? Regardless of anything else they say,
mm-hmm.
the game that would make you drop the money for a jazz hands Switch.
A new Switch.
Would be Halo Infinite.
It'd be Halo Infinite.
Alright.
You're better than me, sir. Because I don't think anything would make me go and buy it unless it's an exclusive title for the Switch. When I can just go get it on my Xbox.
Well, but the point is that you'll be able to take that Xbox game on the go. So again, now look, we don't know exactly what it means, but the whole xCloud thing, maybe it won't matter, right? Because maybe you'll have it and you could just play it on your phone. Connect you know what I mean? But let's say that's not a thing yet or whatever, and it's coming to the Switch, and you want the portability.
Something to have the portability. Microsoft Studios based game. Another Lost Odyssey?
Oh. I mean, it's a good game, but
let me take my glasses off. Throw my keys across. Sir. How dare you? How dare you speak such demonic words into the air? How dare you bring up the thought of Mistwalker Studios? I can't even see you clearly right now. How dare you bring up the thought of Mistwalker Studios doing another Lost Odyssey game exclusively to Microsoft, specifically on the Switch? Sir? What are you doing, man?
No, I literally can't think of anything that would make me buy that I already would have on the Xbox. I literally can't think of anything. But I'm not. This is not.
It's not necessarily buying it because
well, Game Pass, yeah, but this is not about where you could. Because the point, if it's Game Pass anyway, the point is that you could play it on your Xbox regardless. So in the same way that, why are you like, all right? When I said, hey, if they put Jump Force out on the Switch, would you buy it again? You was like, yes.
Yep.
if that's a fact, right? Mm-hmm. If it's in Game Pass, you already have it on both. The difference is you don't have the new Switch that allows you to play it on both. So, if we all playing Lost Odyssey 2 multiplayer, and you're going somewhere,
State of Decay 3. That will probably have me pull the trigger.
Really?
Probably that one.
Huh.
It's a better choice.
A better choice than what?
Lost Odyssey.
Which ain't happening.
Hey, we can hope and dream.
Let me put my glasses back on, sir. I'm not picking my keys up, but okay. I'm with it. You ain't say Blue Dragon?
I actually thought about that.
Green Dragon?
But
Eternal Sonata?
Nah.
2? Nah. Okay. Okay. What if they announce Stranglehold 2? Game Pass exclusive.
Hey. Woo. My interest is peaked.
I'm just saying, bro.
My interest is peaked.
Okay. Okay, for you, it's got to be the biggest, baddest property that Microsoft has to be Halo.
I'm gonna get it, like, but that would be the one that would be like, oh. And I would be somewhere where there's Wi-Fi so I can be online and play multiplayer.
Alright, I dig it.
I just gonna kill zombies with my friends in multiplayer.
That's it.
Yep.
That's what it's gonna take.
Zombies.
Borderlands 3 exclusive. The Game Pass.
That's not too far.
I mean, it's not a Microsoft Studios joint. I'm just throwing joints out there for the sake of it now. You know what I mean? But I'm just, I mean, look, we don't know what all of these new studios are gonna do.
Yeah.
It's
fact.
Which was
which one?
Exclusive, but isn't.
Right. But I would jump on that one.
Okay. All right, listen, y'all answer the same question. Put it down in the comments. We would greatly appreciate it if you did that. Man, while you there, let us know how you enjoy cutscenes. What do you want to see us talk about more? What do you like? What do you not like? Make sure you shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks where you can support us there. We greatly appreciate it if you do. If you don't, you can find most of the content that we make on YouTube. It's relatively easy to do. You can follow us on Facebook and across social media, and that way you'll also know, besides hitting the ding-a-ling bell when we drop something. But if you want some of that exclusive content you can't get anywhere else, like post show, that's how the hookup comes through.
Absolutely.
And that early access to Versus mode, which is y'all two right now. Listen, greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. With that, we're out. Toodles and loos.